Mr. Truck here with AutoFlex, the complete leaf spring replacement with an airbag suspension. Another feature with AutoFlex is you've got air on board like a semi, so I can plug in my air chuck and my impact wrench, and I'm ready to go. It's Mr. Truck. Replaces your leaf spring, exactly bolts to the same place your leaf spring did, puts pressure on your frame the same place. It's not going to mess with your warranty from the truck company. And it's a great system, just like the semis have. The leaf springs that we have now are very old. They're 100-year-old technology, the Hotchkiss leaf spring. The truck manufacturers make them longer. Of course, that makes it ride better, but also makes it squat more. Well, who wants your headlights straight in the air? With what semis use, like what AutoFlex has, with an airbag trailing arm suspension with a leveling valve, so you're level all the time. No matter how heavy your trailer is, your truck does not change. Your headlights do not change. Your handling is greatly improved. Your braking, your curves, the side wind, all those things handle better with this kind of a system. It's got a tracking bar to keep everything straight. An ideal system for trailers. You can also dump it 5 inches when you're backing up to a trailer, or just to reach over and get to your toolbox. All that is so nice. You've got onboard air. You can run an impact wrench. You can air up your trailer tires. All that is part of the system. This comes complete with compressor tank, the whole swing arms, the bow, the shock absorbers. Great system. It's going to be the future. You're going to see other truck companies do it. Actually, Ram has something coming out for 2014 with an air suspension. I think this is better. This has got more design features in it. And see the website, you'll see more about the details of it. Okay, now go ahead and lower it. New from AutoFlex, they've gone from a single bag to a dual bag. This allows you to have higher air pressure, actually gives you a softer ride, and improves stability. It's a great feature, and like all their systems, you can drop the air pressure out of it, drop the truck down 5 inches to access your bed or to hook up to a trailer, so you don't have to run that jack as much. We're watching Derek LeGros take off my leaf springs off of my 2012 F250. That's basically what you do. You jack it up, take the leaf springs off, put the AutoFlex complete suspension on, and you're ready to go. But this is something you can do at home. It bolts on. There's no welding, no cutting. You can do this in your garage with some hand tools. It'll take you a full day to do it. But that's really, besides the features and how well it rides, it is a simple installation. It won't void your truck warranty. AutoFlex comes black, so it matches your frame. You won't even see it until you take a closer look at it. I had mine painted white so that it'd be easy to see when I'm demonstrating it to folks. Red's a nice color, but they do come in black as the basic standard color. For this AutoFlex air suspension, and all the toys you can plug into it because you've got live air like a semi. I can run my impact wrench, I can air up the tires on a trailer, air up the raft, have all kinds of fun. It's great having onboard air. Here we're driving a 2012 Ram 3500 dually, and we had a water tote in the back, about almost 300 gallons, so we're probably 2,300 pounds. And we were doing this slalom course. The cones are set apart about 100 feet, and we were trying to get as close to 50 miles an hour as possible, which is a little scary. We're on an unused closed section of the road here, but it handled fantastic. I mean, this is what you're trying to do. Which reflects on how well it pulls a trailer, how well it pulls a sliding camper. When you're not leaning, the airbag doesn't lean at all like a leaf spring suspension does. The only thing it gives is the rubber bushings. But you have much better control. You're not leaning into each corner,
and shifting your weight and everything else. So it rides like it's on rails, but it's a fun to drive these after they've been altered like this, because it really handles well, and dualies will naturally corner a little better and take curves a little faster than a single rear will. But this improves that even. So you got a very stable truck, one that won't sway on you, one that stays level on these corners, and it's ready for evasive moves. Look at the braking there. These things brake so nice and level. Here I am measuring with our hand wheel. Later on we went to a computer, but then this is how we measured our braking distance. And we braked it with the truck by itself, and then with a big trailer. The trailer is about 17,000 pounds. It was a big one. And we got a chance to take it out and just see how well it had braked, and it did improve the braking dramatically, but look how level it stops. The front steel coil spring bounces around, but the back stays put, and it didn't really nosedive. It was a quick, easy stop. This is where we're uh, testing from underneath, seeing how well it goes. Doing acceleration, you can see there I'm power braking. Of course, that's why I'm spinning the tire, otherwise it wouldn't spin, because you got better traction with AutoFlex. So I power braked it just for fun, and you saw how the axle went down, and it actually gained traction during that event. And this is a very rough road I took this on, not too far away from my house. Hopefully they're going to start paving roads again in Colorado, but this is full of potholes, ruts, all kinds of things, and the suspension does great on it. It handles so well, and it corners well, and it brakes well. Everything's improved on it. Everything that you're used to the truck is now better, and it slides underneath. You can see the new shock absorber that's on there. The tracking bar is up higher, closer to the shock. That's what keeps it from moving left and right. And you see the airbags. There's two of them there doing their job, handling these ruts and pushing the axles down so you can maintain traction. We did this on a snowy day too, and it did very well. Handled the road well. And I did some evasive maneuvers on here. We'll see in the video. Swerving left and right, having a good time out there, testing out this truck and the suspension on it. There's another takeoff. You can see how the airbag pushes the axle down. It does the same way on braking. When you're braking hard, it pushes down on the axle. It gives you traction for braking, which is what you want on that rear axle. You want traction when you're taking off and traction when you're braking. There's another acceleration. I didn't power brake at that time. You saw how it pushed down on the axle. Dramatically improved ride also. Now here's an evasive maneuver. I went from left lane to right lane real quick and back and forth, and you can see how level the suspension's staying. The only thing given is what gives in the bushings, and it handles so well. This is after we did our installation on that F-250, the 2012, and it handles so nice. And this truck had no weight in it, so this is an empty truck handling like this. It's not, something weighted down to where it can't move. This is, totally relying on the suspension to control it. And it's the handling characteristics that are so much improved with the AutoFlex. Now in this piece, with the trailer on board, you can see an evasive maneuver I did there, crossing right to left. And this is with a gooseneck on board the truck after the installation here, and it's about 9,000 pounds. Handled it well. You can see, not much difference in movement between loaded and empty, because it's not going to move. It's not going to squat on you. You got the same kind of distance the fender well. The only thing that moves is however much the tire compresses, or squats down, but nothing else squats on it. Now here you can see it accelerating from a stop with this trailer on there. You can see the airbag pushes it down, giving it traction and stability. This is the way you eliminate that wheel hop and axle wrap you get from, taking off with your truck fast. And this is with a load, it eliminates that axle wrap and all that flexing back there. Totally controllable trailer now and truck. It's big difference all the way around. Here's another fun project we had. This time we were using AutoFlex. This is on a brand new 2000, I guess it's 14 load trail, 32-foot flatbed decks, 10-foot hydraulic tail, electric over hydraulic brakes, oil bath. It's just one humdinger of a trailer. And we asked for AutoFlex to be on this because you know, we knew we needed those bigger brakes. We knew we needed a softer ride, and we went about 2,000 miles cross country through mountains, through desert, and this system, it's available to you hot shotters or anybody else out there that wants this better ride, whether it's an RV, a horse trailer, or you know, a flatbed like it's hauling cargo. You know, a lot of the hot shotters out there are doing very well now with an air ride suspension, getting more rides, getting more loads, just like the semis do when they have an air suspension trailer. But this trailer flex is quite unique. These trailers were rated at 12,500 pound axles, so we could actually be up to 30,000 pounds gross. And it's a large axle underneath there, as you can see. And trailer flex is different than anybody else you'll see out there. It's actually has a saddle welded to the axle, and then the swing arms on that, plus a shock absorber. And so it's the heavy-duty real McCoy here, with you know, onboard air compressor, all those things that the AutoFlex has, and it really dramatically improved the ride of these trailers. Now we were pulling them with Ford F450 and the new Ram 3500. That's rated at 30,000 pounds. We mostly were around 25,000 pounds hauling bricks. We hauled a half track and an Army half track on this for some brake tests. But we went through the Rockies, went through all those passes, I-70 from the Eisenhower tunnels down to Dillon and back up, did all those 7% grades, and these trailers support really supreme trailers and how they handled. They're 32 footers, 10-foot hydraulic dovetail, and there was a section we went through on our way up through Moab. It was in Arizona. I think it was Highway 191. But there's a section down there that crosses in from Arizona to Utah that's just horrible. I mean, the trucks were just about bouncing off the ground. It was just really bad. And the trailers weren't. We had cameras on the trailers. We had cameras all over the place. And the trailers were just kind of floating back there, floating down the road. And the trucks, you know, were playing basketball up there. And got through those rough patches and went through, you know, a lot of miles with these trailers. And the airbag suspension, it was great. We got it all adjusted with the leveling valve on it, and onboard air compressor in the tank, and you know, it's nice having air everywhere. But this is the Trader Flex system, and we also you'll see later on here we installed this on an RV. My horse trader's next, so it really will change the characteristics and the braking and the ride, and you know, and the ability to dump these trailers, you know, whether it's 5 or 6 inches or whatever it figures out to be. I mean, it's nice for a horse trailer and let the horse walk in. It's great for a cargo trailer. If you're loading up the ramp, you want to change the angle of that ramp. And these trailers here were made to you know, use the ramp after you load whatever you're going to put on the truck. You can put the mule or the skid loader on the back, forklift on the back, and haul it to your next destination. But you know, that the dump valve on these, just like on the semis, you can drop that down and make it easier to get into your RV, make it easier to level, make it easier to do all those things. But I was really impressed with how well these trailers rode, how well they handled, and as you see in the pictures, when we're watching it drive by, it just floats. The trailers just float by. This is the kit that goes on the RV. We did this article with Trader Life. I think it came out last summer, might be the April or May edition, but there's the old suspension, took it off, and this is the new suspension. Totally replaces the leaf springs, replaces the hangers, the brackets made to slide up over the hanger brackets. And now you've got, you know, total suspension. That's the rig we put it on. It was a lot of fun watching this thing bounce down the road. Uh, Difference in how it handled, and then again you got onboard air. This is the old suspension, the old leaf springs. You can see what it's doing here. Part of this video, as you watch it, it'll actually make your teeth hurt. It jars so much vibration going on with the leaf springs. And it's something, you know, unless you watch it on video, you don't even realize what's going on down there. It's interesting just how much vibration and all that resonates through your frame, and resonates through your frame, and you know, you actually can feel it in your truck. And if it's horses, you know, they can feel it in the floor of a horse trailer. And cargo, you know, you got bricks back there, whatever you got back there, all that stuff goes through that resonating, vibrate, and high frequency vibrating. and it can be kind of rough on things. You know, it's this the improvements in air suspension on a trailer is something you got to experience. It's amazing how bad these trailers run, and the majority of them don't even have shock absorbers on their axles. Quite a lot. That's what that squeaking going on back there. All that squeaking back there, that was us going up and over out of a ditch, climbing up a hill, and you can hear how much flexing that the leaf spring has to go through. And that's what creates heat. That's what wears out those bolts in your hangers. That's what wears out your equalizer between the leaf springs. All that movement back there, it's squeaking, it's wearing, it's doing all that nonsense. And that's why you don't see too many semis anymore with the old leaf spring suspension. It's not the best suspension out there. It's just the cheapest suspension. The serious folks, the guys who drive those tractor trailers, they use air suspension, have been for 30, 40 years because of the better ride, because of the less amount of wear, because of the better braking. All those things that they've discovered, that's why they use them. That's the professionals making that choice. If you figured it out, this is the air suspension. You can see the airbag, the compressor, the air tank. It's all underneath there out of the way. And you can see you got a short amount of distance between the compressor and the tank and the airbags, making everything happen fast, which is nice for your recovery time on these airbags. It's not noticeable how quickly everything reacts back there, but this is why the pros use this system. It's a very reliable system. No maintenance on it, and you're not going to be out there replacing all those things. And you can see the kind of movement it has. It can climb just like went through there. It went through a little bit of a dip there, and it makes to do that, and it's not going to make a squeaking noise. It's not going to have leaf springs that twist and bolts to move, and all those things you've seen with leaf spring suspension. That's one thing good about Leafs is they're cheap. That's about their biggest contribution. This airbag suspension, it's totally different than what you've experienced. It's a better ride, better braking, better handling. It's the real McCoy. And improving your trailer, makes life better. It takes that vibration out. And like even in the living quarters or in an RV, you've got all those cabinets that are glued together and stapled together. You want to make a good ride for what's back there as well as your cargo, whether it's the horses. you know Stop that vibrating floor for those horses so they're ready for the next event.